everyone. Today I'm going to show you something that I think you're going to really enjoy, especially if you're a beginner. When I was first starting to play the piano, I kept hearing about chords, and I didn't know what chords were. And when you would ask your teacher, they would go into big, involved, theoretical things. And all we really wanted to do was use some chords. And simple chords that we can use right away. So I thought I would show you some simple chords, and these chords are going to be used to learn to play the song Imagine by John Lennon, and you'll be very surprised how easy that can be. Now, first thing you have to know is a chord is 3 notes. Okay, we're working on the C chord. The key of C, the scale of C starts on C, and it has 8 notes. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Right? Okay, so the C chord, also known as the 1 chord, because 1 is the first, C is the first chord, the first note in the C scale. Okay, so we could call it the 1 chord. Starts on C. Okay, the second note is E and the third note is G. Now here's what you need to remember. If you can't remember C, E, G, just remember that between the first and the second note of the chord, there are 3 keys. Okay? Between the second and third note of the chord, there are 2 keys. Hence, the C chord. Now, obviously you use more than just 1 chord in your song, but you need to stay within the same key. So, what will happen is they will use the 1 chord, which is the C chord. They will use another chord that will start on the 4th note of your C scale. So 1, 2, 3, 4. We come to F, A, and C. This is the F chord or the 4 chord. 4 chord because it starts on the 4th note of the C scale. Once again, there are 3 keys between the first and second, and 2 between the second and third. Another chord that they may use would be the 5 chord. It's a very important chord to be used, is the 5 chord. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is G, B, and D. 1, 2, 3 notes between the first and second, and 2 between the second and third. So we have the 1 chord, the 4 chord, and the 5 chord. One more thing that you might see on your music, you may see a number, for example, a 7. Now the song Imagine has a chord in it called the C major 7. And all that is a C major chord, and they want you to throw in the 7th note. Okay? So they want you to throw that in. You don't necessarily have to play all the notes of that chord, as long as you play some of them. Even the C and the B would be good. So now we have the C chord, the F chord, the G chord, the C major 7 chord. Those are the chords that we'll have. Now, one more thing I'd like to show you. Chords, those notes belong to that chord. It doesn't matter where we play the notes. We can move them around and switch them around as long as those are the notes that we play. So in the song that we'll do, we can play, the chords will be with our left hand, okay? We can play the C chord with our left hand. when we want to play the F chord, which would be like this, notice that the C is a note in common with the C chord. So we're down here on C. We can keep our baby finger on C and just play the F, because C and F both have a C in them. Okay, C major 7, we can play, okay, C major chord plus the B. Often in chords like this, we may leave out the third of that. It's a bit awkward to play. So we could play the C chord, the G chord, the F chord, and back to C. These are the chords that we're going to use when we play the song Imagine. Okay? So for now, practice your chords. C chord, C major 7 chord, F chord, C chord. Okay? In the next episode, we're going to play Imagine.